Shalom everyone, welcome back. And today we will learn Parshat Pekudei. Parshat Pekudei is the conclusion of the book of Shemos. So if we began the book of Shemos, the Jewish people had just begun forming into a people in Egypt. And we learned about Moshe Rabbeinu, and we learned about our suffering in Egypt and the 10 plagues, and we left Egypt. And then the story in the desert, and Yisro joins us, and the Aser Dibros, the 10 commandments. So now we've come full forward. We built the Mishkan, and Parshas Pekudei tells us about how when Moshe was finishing up the job and getting ready to make an accounting, all the Mishkan's ready to be built. So he came to the Jewish people and said, let me give you an accounting of where all your raw materials went. So Moshe Rabbeinu starts giving them an accounting. Where'd the gold go? Silver, copper, blue wool, purple wool. He's giving them an accounting. And when he's done, he's missing something. He's missing 1,775 coins. He can't figure out where they went. And because he came to give an accounting to show that everything was honest and fair play, people were getting uptight. So where to go? And Moshe Rabbeinu couldn't remember. And he looked up and he said, Ribbon Shalom, help me out. I can't remember where that went. And when he looked up, he saw the hooks, the copper hooks coming out of the curtains, and he realized that's the 1,775. It's there in the hooks, and that's why the Parsha suddenly gives you this unusual tune. That 1,775. Moshe Rabbeinu suddenly remembered, oh, those were the hooks that were on the poles. Those are the hooks. Now I know where they were. And Moshe Rabbeinu teaches us a lesson in honesty. That as a public servant, you don't assume that people think you're being honest. You show them you're being honest. Moshe Rabbeinu, whenever he would walk into the Mishkan, he would make sure that there were no hems, there were no folds, there were no pockets in the clothing he wore. Even though Moshe was super honest. But he didn't want to leave room for anyone to say, hey, maybe Moshe Rabbeinu took something. So the Jewish people get an accounting, and now the whole Mishkan has been built, and it's ready to be used. And we're holding Kislev. We left Mitzrayim in Nisan, right? And then we received the 10 Commandments in Shavuos. And then we did the golden calf in Shiva Asar B'Tammuz. And then we had 40 days where Moshe Rabbeinu prayed on our behalf. And then another 40 days until finally on Yom Kippur, Hashem forgives us. The morning after Yom Kippur, we get the commandment how to build the Mishkan. We put together all the gold and silver, and everyone gets to work. And now about Hanukkah time, everything's ready and nothing doing. They don't build the Mishkan. So the Jewish people look around like, why aren't we building the Mishkan? Hashem told Moshe, I want you to wait till Nisan. So we're going to wait Teves, Shvat, Adar, until finally Rosh Chodesh Nisan comes. And the Jewish people were very bothered. They worked so hard. They wanted to see the Mishkan built. But Moshe said that's not what Hashem wants. Comes the day, the first day of Nisan, and Moshe Rabbeinu blesses the Jewish people. His blessing was, Vihi noam Hashem Elokeinu aleinu. May the pleasantness of Hashem be upon us. Sometimes we're zealous in the service of Hashem, and we forget that we have to be pleasant. Maybe I'm so busy doing the service of Hashem, it's okay if I bump the other guy, if I step on him a little bit. I'm busy, I'm doing Hashem's will. So Moshe's blessing begins with, Noam Hashem Elokeinu aleinu. May the pleasantness of Hashem be upon all of us. And then, we ask Hashem should be present in the things we do. Here Moshe blesses them that the Shekhinah, Hashem's presence, should rest in the work that they had done. Here you have physical objects. You have a tabernacle, you have a Mishkan, you have Mizbeach, you have a menorah, you have a kior. You have a lot of physical objects, and they're all supposed to be spiritual. And the idea is that, yes, we are going to create something spiritual. Hashem will rest in the handiwork of what we do. Many of us have a custom that on Motzei Shabbat, as we leave Shabbat and we're about to start our handiwork of the week, we say this verse that Moshe Rabbeinu said to them. Vihi noam Hashem aleinu ma'aseh yedenu konena aleinu. We ask Hashem, may your pleasantness be a part of the way we run our lives, and may you, Hashem, settle in all the handiwork that we do, because we want that our work all week long will reflect the work of the Jewish people. It will be an embodiment. It will be an expression of Hashem being a part of our lives. The Mishkan was built, and Hashem settled among the Jewish people, and the Torah tells us an interesting point. Just as Hashem commanded them, Kain asu b'nei Israel, the Jewish people did it the way Hashem told them. Our sages say there is a natural desire to make changes. You ever hear a story and you want to tell it over to someone and suddenly you find yourself changing something in the story? When you make a painting, so artists like to do something that's their personal twist, their personal touch in what they're painting. It's natural. We want, so to speak, to have an expression of ourselves in the stories we tell and in the things that we create. When it came to the Mishkan, Hashem said, you got to do it the way I want. I'm telling you how to build it. You do it my way, it's holy. The second we shift, the second we veer from the way Hashem wanted us to build the Mishkan, that's very dangerous. And that's why the Torah specifies the Jewish people did it the way Hashem said to do it. We were faithful to the will of God. We were working with the understanding that what we're doing here is godly. It is bringing Hashem's presence to our midst, and specifically because we did what He wanted. And so the book of Shmos ends with the Shekhinah settling among Am Yisrael. The heavenly presence is in our midst. If the book began with the Jewish people just starting to form a family of 70 who are going to suffer in Egypt, well, the book of Shmos ends with the Jewish people attaining one of the main goals of human life, of the Jewish people's purpose in this world, where the Shekhinah is in our midst. Shabbat Shalom.